It's going XL, I've heard.
Because it wasn't XL enough, right?
Yeah. G was like, yeah. Oh, they were talking about a jump. He's like, yeah, we want them to be on the limit.
Let's talk a little bit about Hardline. You were on the entry list, but ended up spectating and creating video.
Yeah.
Was that a conscious decision based on like risk, or was there injury playing into it? Or
no, it was a unconscious decision. Because leading into the week before, about 4 or 5 days before flying out, riding in the park, I was just punching heaps of downhill at that time, getting ready for Hardline, and then I just washed the front and knocked myself out.
Oh man,
quite majorly.
Okay.
And yeah, so I was like unconscious for like over a minute, which was pretty hectic.
Yeah.
So definitely wasn't on the.
It's not the best. The best rehab, is it? Flying down Hardline.
No. So yeah, there's enough data out there to know that you don't mess around with head injuries.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is a real shame because I was like super fired up for Hardline. Well, not fired up, like I was just real keen.
Yeah.
Like I actually really, like people were like, oh, like, do you actually want to go there? And I was like, yeah, I do.
Track looked sick as well, to be fair.
The track looked amazing. They did such a good job.
Yeah.
It's funny, I noticed they got like a little bit of hate. Like, you know, people were like, oh, easy line and stuff, because the internet wants death.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Fails.
Yeah, they want, no one saw Dave McMillan's crash, but shit, that was huge.
So did he case the big jump at the bottom? Is that what happened to him?
Yeah, but the big jump was 30 foot longer.
30 foot longer?
Yeah.
That's a big change.
Yeah. It was...
so that was a heavy case.
Yeah. He basically front wheel into the backside on 100 foot.
Man.
Yeah.
So that was femur and other bits and pieces, right?
Femur, multiple facial fractures.
How's he doing?
He's killing it.
Is he?
Yeah.
Good.
He's gone. He's smashed the recovery.
Yeah.
And which is super motivating for him because it's, you know, he was in he had to fly home in a wheelchair, all that stuff, and then he's just been like kicking goals.
Fair play.
Which is sick.
Good. Yeah, because it's only maybe 3 months since that crash. Not long.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Yeah, him and Bernie went over and tested it, and you know, them testing it got it to what it was.
Yeah. Which was a really good product. I think it was great to watch.
Bernie jumped the road gap first time, and he knew the landing wasn't steep enough, but to prove a point, he was game enough to send the road gap. And
fair play.
Obviously hard landing, but like bent both his pedals down. It was that hard. So.
Man.
But then that's why, I wouldn't be game. I'm game to ride Hardline.
Yeah.
But not game to guinea pig any.
No, that's fair.
Yeah. But that's how you get it to like a good polished thing.
Yeah.
And then, big up like Louise and all the girls who sent it. Like, it is a gnarly course.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, anyone who thought it like looked tame, it wasn't. By no means.
How does it compare to the Welsh one? Because you've been there, right?
Yeah, I think Wales just has sketchier conditions.
Yeah.
Like Medina was an amazing. Like if you took out all the jumps, it was an amazing downhill track, world class.
Yeah,
it was rough, loamy, rocky, high speed. Everyone was loving it. It was that people were just loving doing laps. Which is pretty sick. When I don't know if people were loving doing laps in Wales.
yeah. It's a different way. Riding in Wales is often survival, right?
You're ticking boxes, and I think that's because of the conditions.
Yeah,
wind, slate, it's slippery.
It's so slippery, that place in the West.
And also, maybe like the perspective is different because of the trees.
Yeah,
okay. With Wales being just on a hillside, the features kind of stand out more.
Yeah.
Whereas in the forest, you don't get the perspective.
Yeah, it's hard to show how big they really are on camera because you can't get back.
Yeah. I saw some of the drop footage and stuff, and it doesn't look as big as it really is.
Yeah. Fair. Do you think we'll ever see a series like Hardline become a genuine contender to like World Cups?
Yeah, they were talking about it the other day, and everyone always goes with the cliche of, downhill being F1.
Yeah.
But hardlines, Bernie made a good point that hardline's probably closer to being F1 than downhill racing is, because you're going to have 20 riders.
Yeah.
And you're going to,
it's more elite in a way, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's the next step up and being the elite, the premier. So yeah, I know there's talks of, adding another stop so it becomes which would be sick. I love watching it. I know that I'm pretty sure the numbers check out for Hardline.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pretty valuable commodity to Red Bull.
Yeah.
And people love watching it because it's easy. You know what it is. It's like time and big features, whereas it's not judged.
Yeah. Compared to Rampage, do you think we'll see many of the big name riders go to the Wales event, because it's sort of mid-season and high risk, and they're building some new stuff as well? I think.
Yeah.
From what I hear, pretty crazy new stuff as well.
Yeah. It's going XL, I've heard.
Because it wasn't XL enough, right?
Yeah. G was like, yeah. Oh, they were talking about a jump. He's like, yeah, we want them to be on the limit.
Man.
Yeah.
They're bred differently.
I don't know. I don't think you'd see many top downhillers going.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of a shame that Jackson got hurt in Medina, because it kind of justifies anyone from management saying, oh, we don't want you to go. And then that happens, because it kind of reinforces the idea that maybe it's not a good idea if you're being paid to race World Cups going and doing that.
Yeah.
Because I think Bruni was quite gutted that he didn't go, because he wanted to, it's like you're showing a new page in the book.
Yeah.
So, and all those guys, they'd be sweet. It's obviously scary, but it's like a healthy team building day of ticking off gnarly features.
Yeah.
There's no egos. It's, if you were struggling, I'd be like, Chris, I've hit it. Just follow me in.
Yeah.
And if you trust my judgment, and if I say no breaks from here, and you get that little bit of drag as well, it's you'll be sweet. So
I won't take you up on that offer though. Thanks, Eddie.
But everyone works together.
Yeah, it's more collaborative than any other kind of racing, right?
Especially with the girls, there was a lot of guys jumping in and wanting to lend a hand, because no one wants to see anyone hurt. You're only the only time you're competing against each other is the one run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the internet that wants to see people get hurt.
The internet wants gore. Yeah. They just want a highlight reel.
Oh man.
Yeah.